Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? You all hear me? Is everyone still spilling in? Coming in from Twitter or YouTube or wherever? Hello, hello! Alrighty. Hey, I'm here. And I got chat set up on the screen. So now we'll be able to see everyone's chat on the screen even afterwards, you know? Great. Perfect. Fantastic. So yeah, I picked 9:15 because I was like, "Oh, what if I'm busy? What if I'm so busy leading up to this and like my dogs will need to go on a walk or whatever and, an explosion will happen outside. Something will make me too busy to start at like 9 o'clock." And then, literally for like the last 45 minutes, I've just been sitting here staring at my screen, waiting for 9:15 so I could start streaming. And I was like, maybe it was a little, a little overly precautious. Yeah, I got chat on the screen. I know there's like a way to make it like look nicer. Um, Baby steps, I'm gonna figure it out. We have chat on the screen, which is better than last time. Hello, 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 everyone. Nice, nice, nice. Everyone still coming on in? Awesome, 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 awesome. So yeah, cool. I'm sure I know what most of you are gonna want to talk about because of what happened yesterday, the things that got announced yesterday. But before we get to all the Ruby stuff, there's other things I want to talk about. So let's start with that other things. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my god, you guys are too nice. You guys are too nice. You restore my faith in humanity, seeing how nice people on the internet can actually be. Need strength to finish the animation? You got plenty of time. There's still a couple of months left. And if it's like super stressful, maybe sit back and like reflect on what you're doing and think about how you can like expedite the process or make it easier for you or something. We've got plenty of time. It's meant to be fun, not a stressful thing. I believe in you, you can do this. I've gotten a few animation submissions already. Some of you are so quick, and it's every single time. Like, I check my email so often, which is, oh yeah, that's something I wanted to mention. This is important. If you email it to me, which is how you turn in your submission, if you email it to me and I reply to you and I say awesome, that means I have seen and I have gotten your submission. So, just want to make that clear. If I don't reply awesome back to you, I might not have seen it yet. Remember, I don't always check my email because I have multiple email accounts, and the one I have for Judgmental Critter isn't really the one I use for like the important things in my life. I don't have my taxes hooked up to that email, for important updates and things. So yeah. So it might take me a couple of days, especially if it's like over the weekend where I don't really get on my computer very often. But yeah, if I answer back, awesome, I have seen your submission. So, cool. Hello everyone, welcome, welcome. Before we get into any Ruby-specific stuff, I wanted to do something fun, because this was another fun thing I wanted to do, now that I could start streaming, was another way I could interact with you all, is I can now show off everyone's fan art that you submit to me. Which was so cool. Man, I appreciate your fan art so much. And I always wanted to, like, show them off in the videos that I do. But I never knew where was a good time to, like, put them into the video, like at the beginning, or, like, towards the end, or where. And I'm like, this is now perfect opportunity to show off all your guys' amazing fan art that you share with me. Because I retweet them all on Twitter, but, like, not everyone uses Twitter, because it's like a hellscape. And yeah, I wanted to show off, some cool stuff. I got a couple of cool pieces of fan art. over last week since I last streamed. And yeah, it's Rainy, the main character for my comic that I do, Little Frog Witch. Which, look at that amazing logo in the corner there. Of like, logos fascinate me. I try so hard and I feel like I never get them right, and then some of you people will show up and it'll just look amazing, and I'm like, that's amazing, it's magic. I really like this fan art a lot. I've gotten, every time I get fan art of Little Frog Witch characters, I'm so excited because it's just so sweet and fun, and you all do such cool creative things with their designs and stuff. This one I think is extra cool because of the little details, like the fact that she only has her 3 fingers, because Rainy does only have 3 fingers, and the fact that she has those 3 big long eyelashes on each side. Love that. Amazing. So happy. Yeah, I love, this, I've, like, every time I get fan art, every single time one of you share fan art with me, I just spend, like, hours staring at it going, it looks so good, it was amazing. But then I got another piece of fan art recently, which is a little bit different. It's like a craft material, not so much like art, and they made this little posable figure of me out of, like, aluminum foil and wires or something? I'm not quite sure. But it is so cute and charming. It is the coolest thing. I love it so much, and it's the fact that they've, like, captured everything perfectly, like the size of the ears, my, like, hair curl, and my favorite was this extra, like, they had a couple of different pictures, but my favorite was this one where I have, like, this just sword, and it's probably, like, a normal-sized sword, but because Critter's so small, it's, like, this huge, like, cloud stripe-like sword, and it's just so cute. And I love it so much. Critter wielding a sword. I never expected it to be so cool. Yeah, I just wanted to... I have this slide here now for stream, so if you share fan art, I can now share all of your amazing cool fan art on stream with everybody. And that's awesome. Maybe if, like, I get tons and tons, it would be dedicated to just that. Well, that's looking too far in the future. So yeah, thank you both and everyone who's made fan art for me. Thank you so much. That's so cool. I love it endlessly. The fact that other people would take time out of their lives to create something that's inspired by me or what I've done, that is so cool. That blows my mind. That is, like, the most valuable thing I can think of in existence. Alrighty. So, yeah, that was the fan art stuff. And I got another super chat before, and it was questioning what news came out. RWBY Volume 9 was announced. They did it. It's finally happening. They're finally gonna do RWBY Volume 9. So what do you all think? What are your thoughts? Because I'm gonna be honest, not looking great. I wasn't planning on financially supporting Rooster Teeth to begin with. My initial idea was that I was just going to, like, watch it with ad blocker after it was free to watch on their website. But, you know, now it's not going to be on their website. And I don't know, like, I don't even know. And that's another thing. I could pirate it if I really don't want to support Rooster Teeth. But on the other hand, it doesn't even look good enough to pirate. Like watching the trailer, it just looks bad, you know? Like, so weirdly bad. It's really basic looking. Because that was something I was thinking about. The fun of RWBY, initially, was going to be how they reinterpret classic fairy tales and myths and legends and whatnot to fit into this world they created. This specific sort of modernized world. And that was the fun. You know, Goldilocks isn't just a blonde girl who breaks into a house with bears and eats all their porridge. It's Yang. She's a boxer. She's also, like, got fire. There's things. They reincorporate different concepts and ideas into it. And now it's just Wonderland. Forget Volume 9, let's talk about Korra. For real. Man, I've been wanting to get back to my Korra reviews. I usually just watch it secondhand with reviews. I've been thinking about that. Like, I might check it out, see what other people... Because I'll, like, Murder of Birds. Because I'm sure he'll probably react to it. Or, like, Cal or someone, Dan, maybe. I'll just see... Like, I'll check it out based on what they got. But even then, I don't know if they can, because with Crunchyroll being in charge, their streaming, their, like, reaction things might be different. You might not be able to just play the whole episode that way. I don't know. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it's just Wonderland. You know, that's so... Like, there's been so many cool, creative fan concepts for Wonderland and Wonderland-themed characters, and the fact that it's just, like, wholesale, just Wonderland, it feels really uncreative, and I'm not into it that much. Man, you guys are so nice! Wow! Don't know if I'm being dramatic, but after all the crap that we saw, the abuses to the team and more, what if we just forgot / ignored the existence of Ruby? I agree. And a part of me is, like, dying to, like... Because, like, I am curious to see how it can continue, but also, I know it's not going to be good. It's a failed to succeed any kind of expectations so far. And the Messiah says, I don't understand why you don't just put Ruby on HBO Max. I know, right? Which, because that's the thing. God, they released this, like, super cringy, like text before they released the actual trailer, and it was like, where do you go when you think of anime? Crunchyroll. Ruby's gonna live exclusively on Crunchyroll. And I was like, is it? Like, is Crunchyroll the place you go to when you think of anime? Maybe back in, like, 2012, which I think really hammers home how, Rooster Teeth, or at least some executives in charge, really live in the past. I know, Robbie Damon's gonna be in it, and I really like Robbie Damon. I think he's the cat. I think he's the Cheshire Cat. I really like Robbie Damon, but I don't know. I know he's already gotten paid for his work there. That's the thing. The people that I do want to support have already gotten paid, and watching the show at this point won't support them any further, you know? Wow! Caleb! Wow, and Marie. Oh my god. You guys are too nice. You guys need to stop. you guys, you need to make sure you pay for yourselves. Man, what happened to Rooster Teeth? I remember watching Achievement Hunter when Minecraft was a new thing and excited for RVB. Now I can't even remember the last time I watched something from them. I know, right? There's this, like, sad nostalgia around it. Because I used to sometimes watch, like, I would go back and rewatch, like, the first 5 episodes of their Minecraft Let's Play and just reminisce in, like, the time that it was, how fun it was to be in that community. I don't know. Maybe it's just always been bad and it just slowly rotted from the inside. Maybe going, like, corporate, like, did something to them, you know? I feel conflicted because of the whole Rooster Teeth debacle. But I also think if we don't support Ruby, it'll get cancelled. True. Which was another thing they talked about in that blurb thing that they had. They're like, Ruby became an international hit. I kept seeing that over and over again. Ruby is an international hit. But then they add another thing moments later that was like, we're not made of money and we're struggling. Don't pirate the show, please, because we have no money. Please, we need the money. We have none. We don't get a lot. And I'm like, how can you be an international hit but also be struggling? I don't know. Those two things don't really add up to me. Especially right after you just laid off all of your animators. You know? Like, okay. Critter original animation win. If I could learn how to animate, I've tried animating. I don't have the patience for it. Sitting around and drawing frame by frame, you know, not for me. Sitting down and editing hours worth of footage. That's what I'm into. No, like, and then there was this stereotype. You can't even just donate 5 and then not even say something. No, the thing is, it was just... It's also, like, this weird thing that they seem so insistent on being like, no, Ruby is an anime. Like, I'll never get over that one RT life that they have, where Carrie, Miles, and Gray went to Japan, and they just, so they're having fun, running around being in Japan, And they kept being like, oh, but Ruby's not a real anime, because mean people on the internet said that. Ruby's definitely not a real anime, as they stand in front of their, like, anime Ruby panels and whatnot in, like, stores. And I'm like, that feels so ridiculous to get hung up on, you know? Because, first of all, I would consider Ruby as much of a real anime as, like, any other animation, because anime, people are like, anime is only animation that comes from Japan, and I'm like, Japan doesn't care. Japan doesn't call their specific stuff anime. It's all just another word for animation, you know? SpongeBob is an anime, you know? It's all just animation, you know? But people throw around the word anime as if it means something. And now it's like, it's on Crunchyroll because it's a real anime. Yeah, so was High Guardian Spice. I guess that's a real anime now, too. Anton says, can't stop, won't stop. Who even needs food? No! No! I have no power over here. Like an anti. No, it's just like, no, stop throwing me. It's like that meme. Shut up and take my money. I still watch Death Battle, but honestly, it's so disconnected from RT. If every episode didn't have the logo, you'd easily forget. I don't watch Death Battle. Everyone talks about it, but it's like, you know, it was never a concept that really interested me. So, people praise it, and I've seen like one forever ago, which was Yang versus Tifa, and I was a little salty because I was like, I really don't think Yang would win. Yeah, I know her aura would help, but I mostly feel like it's because because they weren't owned by Rooster Teeth at that point yet, but they had like Rooster Teeth like helping with the animation, and Barbara recorded special lines of dialogue for it and everything. And I'm like, if Rooster Teeth wasn't helping out, I think they might be a little bit more inclined to lead towards Tifa. Just saying, you know. Sorry, just drinking my coffee. I remember to bring like actual liquids this time, so I won't die. I don't, here's the thing, if Ruby gets canceled, I don't really think I care anymore, you know, because looking at that trailer, it's Wonderland, just straight up Wonderland. No, shut up and take my money. It's just straight up Wonderland, but Team Ruby are standing there too. But it's weird because at this point, they're barely even Team Ruby. They've all become so deflated and watered down, diluted. Like, Weiss isn't Weiss anymore, you know? Weiss used to be that, like, I was thinking about hold on, I'll say what Caleb's got to say. People that say anime is only from Japan have the same energy of champagne being from, yeah. like, it's all the same. Like, oh, it's just a thing, so, because you're feeling pretentious about it. It's like, it's not a cartoon, it's an anime. Okay. G Extreme, you're already a $10 patron. Or at least, no, you used to be. I still I have, like, all my $10 patrons in, like, a folder, and every time I scroll through to, like, put the $10 patrons in my videos, I'm just, like, I don't bother taking out the ones that aren't $10 patrons anymore, so in my mind, you're all still my little critters. The post explaining the platform change really seemed like they're expecting RT to go under. Yes, 100%. Switching it from the RT site to Crunchyroll is probably a way to detach the show from the company. 100%. And they said after a year, you know, it'll be on the Rooster Teeth site. After a whole year, it'll be on Rooster Teeth, and I think it'll be for first members first, and then a week later, it'll be for regular members. I'm not sure. I don't think the post is... I don't know what... Like for jerseys. I looked at the post, but I wasn't quite sure what he was saying. And yeah, it really feels like if Rooster Teeth is still around after a year, you know... No, I think they're all getting ready to, like, chop some things and throw them into other companies and get rid of that part of the business. I saw someone mention the lead trailer in the comments. I've gotten, yes, every time there's a new fan animation, I get comments about it. I've seen it, you know, it's cool. I liked how it expanded on Crimson a bit more. I am planning on going into more RWBY fan animations. My next video is going to be talking about Frozen. I've been working on this for like 3 weeks now. I don't know why it's taken me so long. But once my Frozen video's done, I think the one I'll do after that is talking about RWBY fan animations. Because there's been a couple that I've wanted to address for a while now. One in particular. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about how Weiss doesn't even feel like Weiss anymore at this rate, you know? Because, like, I was thinking about the scene in Volume 2 when they're playing cards with each other. They're playing that board game. And I remember back then, I was just like, what's the name of all the kingdoms? I was so excited to hear them just talking about the world and learning some lore. And I was just thinking about, thank you, Julian. Thank you, Julian. You're sweet. I was thinking about how Weiss's dialogue is like, that sounds dumb. When Yang is like, you got it back, yo. And I just thinking about that performance from Weiss and that just personality from her. And it's like, I just miss that. I miss that from her, you know? She doesn't really... And now I feel like Kara is, Oh, that was my dog. If you heard that, my dog entered the room. I feel like Kara she might have been losing interest. She's sounded rather wooden recently with a lot of her recent performances. Volume 8, she sounded tired, like she was... Like maybe her voice was strained, and I imagined I assumed it was just because of the pandemic and having to record differently. But then it was the same in Ice Queendom, at least from the 2 episodes I saw in the English dub. And now in this trailer it sounds the same again, and I feel like Kara might just be bored or tired with her performance as Weiss. I mean, she's not a voice actress. This is essentially just like a side gig she has to do every now and then. So I don't know. Anyone else think it was a bad idea to share a season with Demon Slayer for over half a runtime? Especially when they're hinging on this season? Is Demon Slayer coming out right now? I guess so. I mean, is it bad to overlap like that? They're so different from each other. I don't know how it could affect each other, but maybe. I never think about those kind of things. I'll be honest. That's another thing. Having it hidden behind a paywall is so weird, because for 10 years, becoming an international hit, and it's been free to watch to some capacity, just having a Rooster Teeth account, which was already free. And I can understand from, like, a marketing standpoint. Like, that's why they took RWBY off of YouTube, you know? It wasn't making them money off of YouTube. Believe it or not, YouTube is not a great way to make money. Even for a company as huge as Rooster Teeth, it's very finicky and weird. So I understand why they took it off of YouTube, but now they're taking it off of their own site. I don't know. It's just it's a weird move, and I think this will end up hurting them in the long run more than anything. Because I feel like people are not gonna want to pay for RWBY. People already bitched when they had to go to the Rooster Teeth website for free. Now they have to pay? And I know a Crunchyroll premium membership isn't a ton. It's what, $9? $7 or $9? Something like that? Yeah, like $7 or $9, which isn't a ton, but to some people, it is. Hey, Mary. Hey, nice seeing you. And that's another thing, I'm not gonna buy, because I don't have a Crunchyroll membership, because Crunchyroll isn't exactly like, you know, a better company than Rooster Teeth, right? Like, they're both kinda bad, and I'm not gonna get a Crunchyroll membership just for RWBY. And there's nothing else. I don't like Crunchyroll's website. I don't like the way it's set up. You know, I don't like any of that stuff. So I'm not gonna get a whole-ass membership just for one show. So I'm not gonna bother, you know. I could pirate it, but should I go through all the effort even at that point? You know? For a season that doesn't even look that good? It's so bright, also. Which, I saw someone somewhere, they were talking about how they've done the complete opposite, because it was so, like, dry, like, bland, desaturated in, like, every degree. And now everything's like, oh, the saturation's cranked up to 1,000,000! Wow! And it just looks awful. It's just like Wonderland, but too bright. Isn't Crunchyroll free? No, for some cases, yes. But, or certain shows, you do need a premium membership, and that's how Ruby's gonna be. I looked, all of Ruby is hidden behind this premium membership, on Crunchyroll, at least. And it's so weird seeing, like, an episode 1 that's, like, 6 minutes long from the first volume, and it's like, oh, premium? Really? A 6-minute episode? That's so premium. What about the one that's 4 minutes? Yeah. Premium content right there. It's weird for Crunchyroll to hide it behind a premium account also, because it is still free on Rooster Teeth's website, you know? Like, you can watch all of volumes 1 through 8 for free still on Rooster Teeth's website, at least for the time being. They claim it'll be for at least for another year, right? But that's so weird, like, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it much. The trailer did not impress me in any way. I feel like it feels like it's gonna be just like a filler season. And I know it's kind of ridiculous to put the cart before the horse, but I don't, like, nothing about this hooked me. We were already just barely starting to touch on the concepts of, like, the actual plot, you know, with the maidens and the relics, and now we're gonna take a whole season. Presumably, Yang was miserable all trailer. Even Weiss smiled. You're right, Julian. Yang has been miserable for so long. I was thinking about that. The only time Yang or Blake ever express a positive emotion is when it's to or for each other. And just, like, cheer up. You know? Everyone else can put in the effort to smile every now and then. Jeez. I haven't liked Yang in a very long while. Her character has gone downhill so far, in my opinion. She's just, like, they've ruined her. Oh, it was her PTSD. Yeah, and it definitely feels like they didn't do a single Google search on how PTSD affects people. But whatever. She's just gonna be miserable for forever. You know, that's her personality now. Yeah, it doesn't, it looks so basic. The way I described it to my sister was, it looks like the type of plot for, like, a movie for an anime. Like, you know how there's Naruto, and then it's the plotline of Naruto, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then there'll be, like, a random movie, and it's just, like, some random plot they stumble upon. Pokemon's another example. Ash is going on his journey. Oh, but in this movie, they stumble upon this one random little island where it happens to be this way. Like, this whole season, that trailer gave me that same vibe of, it's just a little sidetrack. It's also only gonna be 10 episodes long. And, I don't know, for waiting, like, 2.5, 3 years, 10 episodes? That's it? And based on the animation of the trailer, it doesn't look much better than anything else they've put out. You know? Like, nothing from the trailer looked as good as something like, Yang discussing what to do with Ren in the snow. You know? I think that's a beautiful shot from, Volume 8 last time. When they're out in the snow, and Yang and Ren are arguing, it's a great shot. The way they move, the cinematography, the lighting, even the environment, even though it's just a simple empty tundra, it's a great shot. Nothing looked better than that, though. And, you know, you sit there and you're like, oh, it's been over 3 years, it should look amazing. It looks the same. It all looks the same. Hey, Critter, your videos on Madoka Magica made me want to watch it, and I have a question. Which version should I start? Start with Madoka Magica. Just that one. Not Rebellion, not, Record. Start with just Madoka Magica. If you can watch, like, the better version, like, I think there's a Blu-ray version. The one that they have streaming on Crunchyroll is how, like it works. That's a good one. There's just a version, like the initial one, like how anime always does, where the animation kind of is meh at times, but I don't think it was ever that bad with Madoka. It just touches things up here or there. So yeah, start with Madoka Magica. It's on Crunchyroll if you want to watch it. That's where I find it. That's where I get all my footage. Do you think the season will only follow Team Ruby? I hope so, honestly, which is hilarious to me. The only time the show can actually focus on only Team Ruby and not have its millions of side characters stealing the screen time is when Team Ruby is literally so separated from everyone that they're in another dimension. Jean wasn't in the trailer. That's a weird thing, right? Like, for being the last one to fall and being the one to, like, kill off Penny last time, you think we'd at least get, like, a hint of Jean. Like, we got a hint of Neo. I don't know. It's weird. Where to go? Plus side of season 9 is new season of Ruby Crack. Oh yeah, all the like fan edits and stuff. Man, this was something I was thinking about the other day. It was how nostalgic I am for old Ruby AMVs. You know? Oh my god. I went back and rewatched one. I don't know what their YouTube name is now, but their name was Shifty Chaos at one point in time. I think they go by Shiki now. Or at least they did at a point in time. I like everything they did. I used to be obsessed. I would like watch everything on their channel multiple times. We used to have such cool AMVs for Ruby, and we would always have like, whenever a new volume came out and a really cool shot happened, like a really cool moment of like a battle or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's gonna make it into the AMVs. And then you'd start seeing new AMVs, and it was like, oh, I miss those times. There's others that I do still follow. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. But yeah, I used to love Ruby AMVs, and Ruby Cracks, and Ruby, like, Vine compilations or whatever, you know, things like that. It was so much fun back in those days, when we could, like, expand and explore. But now the show is so singularly minded, the characters are so bland, or at least, like, they don't, like, express themselves a whole lot. Like, yeah, in my video I released today about Tyrion's Tale, I talk about how the characters don't really address the things that they do very much. They mostly just exposit at each other. They don't actually talk about the things they've done. And one of the shots I used was in Volume 8, when Ruby and Blake are, like, going to help turn on the generator back in the Schnee Manor. And, because it's when the Grimm attacks. They're standing around, and Blake is like, Ruby, I want to talk to you. I really look up to you. And this is like one of the 4 moments Blake has ever actually spoken to Ruby. And I was thinking about how hollow that scene is, and I didn't know why it felt hollow until I made that that Tyrion cutting off that video I uploaded today. It feels hollow because Blake is just like vague posting, essentially. Like, you know, she's basically being like, I really like you, Ruby. But why? What has Ruby done other than, like, vague things? I like you because you do the right thing? Okay. Everyone else is too. Because Ruby tries. Everyone else is too. It's just this, there's nothing specific about what Ruby has done or what Blake appreciates to really leave any sort of impact on that conversation. And you could tell because Blake doesn't really bother exemplifying the reasons why she suddenly looks up to Ruby and whatnot, you know? So that's like, it's hard to make cracks and AMVs and fun things about the show when there's nothing for you to really expand on at that point. Like, the characters have devolved. And that's so sad. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I could pirate Volume 9. But why would I bother? Like, it looks so bad. I hate the visuals of it. I really don't like it. I hate the raccoon, and I love raccoons. Raccoons are one of my favorite animals of all time, and I can't stand the way he looks, and it looks bad. So yeah, that's what, and I think there's another weird thing happening with Ruby coming out, is a lot of people are making a stance of, I don't want to watch the show anymore. And the people who do want to watch the show, from what I've seen, feel really snappy. They feel snippy, on edge, really defensive. And I was thinking about it, and it feels like, because initially it could be like, I don't want to watch the show, because I don't like the show. And then they could sit there and be like, well, you're just a hater, I like the show. But now it's, I don't want to watch the show because I don't want to support this company. This company has used transphobic slurs, bigotry, racism, they abuse their animators and stuff like that. I don't want to support this company. And now the people who are going to keep watching the show is in this weird position of, like, like understanding that. Like and it's not just, oh, you don't like the show. There's a reason I don't want to support them. And I think maybe it's just weird right now. We got a lot to figure it out. It reminds me of like J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter Legacy coming out. Like, people don't want to do that because they don't want to support J.K. Rowling. And I feel like this is similar. Similarly, Wizards of the Coast being really scummy with their licensing stuff. Are people gonna watch this Dungeons and Dragons movie that's coming out soon? You know, I don't know. It's this weird thing of, like, I know there are reasons I don't like this company, and I don't want to support them. Is watching a movie or watching a show worth it? Or playing a game, is that worth it? Personally, I would say no. I have no plans on watching any of those things. Or playing Hogwarts Legacy. Is that the name of the game? It looks so boring, also. It looks like you run around in an ugly-ass, vaguely Harry Potter-themed world. It's just all open world, you know? I hate open world games. Like, we've done too many at this point. I used to love them. There have been so many since the massive success of Breath of the Wild. There's a million ripoffs and similar concepts, and I'm just so sick of an open world game. I started playing Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening yesterday. It has been the most fun I've had playing a game in so long. Oh my god. Like, it doesn't hold your hand. There's no long, droning cutscenes. It's just, you play, and you figure out your puzzles. And if you can't figure out your puzzles, there are other ways around them. And that's so much nice. So much nicer. I have started watching Vox Machina Season 2. Watched the first 3 episodes. I'm like, and now it's that thing that has happened where it feels very daunting now, you know? Because I'm remembering just how much happens in the campaign. And I'm like, whoa, a lot's gonna happen. I don't even know where this season could end, you know, for Vox Machina. How many seasons are they planning? Oof. Have I played Red Dead Redemption 2? Not 2. Rambo did. And I watched Rambo play it. That seemed fun. I'm sick of open worlds. Like, oh, you could go anywhere you want. I don't want to go anywhere I want. I want to follow a story. You know, I want to know where I'm supposed to go. Reading what you... Hold on, I need to get a drink of tea. I have coffee and tea this time. I doubled up. I made super sure that I had everything figured out. Don't be a baby. Talking to my dog. Not you guys. You guys aren't babies. It's my dog. He just wants attention. He's a big old baby. RT apologized, but they didn't, like, fire any of the people who were doing the slurs or slave driving, like, other than, like, people who had already left, like Gray, for example. But, like, yeah, no. Like, Jeff still works there. Gavin still works there. You know, it's all the same. It's all the same things. Tea is better than coffee? At times. It depends, honestly. Depends on what mood you want to be in. Not the mood you currently are in. Because it happens, because they affect you down the line. No pumpkin-like drink? Yo, okay, listen. Pumpkin spice latte, if I had that available, for surezies. I really like pumpkin spice latte. And everyone is like, oh, the pumpkin spice latte girls. It's just a flavor. I just like the cinnamon. I like the vibes of it, you know? What type of dog? Barry is a husky. He's a big monster, and he thinks he's a lapdog. And when he wants to play, he will growl and bark, and he doesn't think he's very scary, but he is very scary when he's sitting there growling and barking at people because he wants their attention. So, he's a big 70-pound monster, and I love him. My other dog is like a pit bull thing, mix, mutt. We found him eating trash one day, so I don't really know what he is. He's a trash baby. Hot chocolate. I used to like hot chocolate, but something happened at like a point in time where suddenly chocolate is like awful to me. There's just like a switch. Like I don't want it anymore. It's not good. Like it's so overwhelming, you know? When did I get a dog? I've had dogs for several years now. I got Barry. 4 years ago? 3 or 4? It's almost his birthday. Yeah. January 30th. It's gonna be 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly. I got Egg, my other dog, like 7 months ago. Found him in September, running around eating trash. Thoughts on Jeff Williams retiring from music? Good. I think that is a good thing. Like, Jeff Williams is good, obviously, but I think he's run out of ideas. There's only so many generic rock songs that are themed to the concepts of sort of being like fairy tales that you can do before you really run out of material. And I think Casey has, like, room to grow and do something a little bit different. You know, one thing I am looking forward to is the soundtrack. Can we get, like, a single song for, I don't know, Ruby again? A Blake-specific song, because we haven't had one of those in a long time. Not a Blake and Yang song, just Blake, you know? I feel like there's so much room to do things. So yeah, I think Jeff stepping down, good. He's getting older, and I think we've heard his sound, and my favorite song from last volume was the one from Okay Goodnight. I don't remember the name of it. That might be the name of the song. Oh, I have a hard time remembering things. I'm old. I have too much coffee in me. Okay, good night. Yes, so I got it right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll miss him too. I think another thing was, he clearly didn't really have, like, direction for what he was doing for the last couple of years. It's just like, do something. Alright, I'll do something. Awake. That's what, yes. Smarties coming in, knowing the answers to things. That's fucking... You didn't like Awake? Oh, I loved it. I like that, like, hard, like, kind of, sort of grunge rock feeling to it. I've been really into that lately. Don't know why. I used to be all about pop, and then suddenly it's just like, no, I want everything to sound like how Night in the Woods feels, you know? Trocadero for RVB, I don't know it. I watched Red vs. Blue, and I'm sure if I heard Trocadero, I would recognize it. Don't remember it in the slightest. Does not register, like, in my brain whatsoever. So, was that all the things to talk about with Ruby? Man, it feels like I guess there's not much to say when the show isn't even out yet. You know? Like, what else is there to talk about? It doesn't look good, and I'm not interested, and if I do watch it, I'm not gonna pay for it. I will pirate it, if I have to. Usually I'm so, the truth was disappointing. It sounded so good, too. Usually I am adamantly against pirating, because that will kill the show. It'll kill whatever it is you're pirating, it will kill it, because you're not supporting them. But I don't want to support them, and quite frankly, I'd be fine if Ruby did die. Any twin shenanigan stories? I don't know, not really. Not really. We didn't do, like, whenever you see, like, twin YouTubers or storytellers, I was like, oh, we switched places for a day. No, that doesn't really happen. Like, we never did anything like that. We're just, essentially just, like, regular sisters. We just happen to have the same birthday, you know? Are you gonna change anything on the bingo? I was thinking about that. I think I might make a new I'll keep the old one, because I'm curious if any of it actually does happen. But I don't know, should I even bother making a new bingo if I'm not even all that interested in watching the show? I'll think about it, because I definitely was under the impression that we would see the people from Vacuo alongside this other main story, but it really doesn't seem like we'll be getting that at all. We're just completely forgetting the plot, because they realized they had a whole decade, and the characters never once had any introspection. They never thought about themselves, and we don't even really focus on these characters. Whoops, we'll just do it all now. All of it. 10 years worth of hindsight and reflection, and, like, actually interacting with these characters. We're gonna do it all right now in this one season. 9 volumes in. Stellar. So smart. We are fraternal twins, yes. We honestly, if you look at us, we don't look anything like each other. Maybe it's because I spent a lot of time staring at us, and so I could find the ways we don't look the same, but we are, in fact, fraternal. Nothing is more annoying than when you go, no, I'm a fraternal twin, and then the person you're talking to goes, no, you're identical. Oh, I didn't know you knew what kind of twin I was. Silly me. Still like to see a new bingo? Only for the community predictions fun? That could be fun. What are my pronouns? She, her. But I really respond to anything. Mostly because I'm used to being referred to as a collective. And I had an uncle who always called us boys. And he would call us Fred and George. And we were boys. So I'm used to being referred to as whatever. You know. Thoughts on the 10 episode runtime? I think 10 episodes, in theory, is fine. Because a part of me is like, that's so short. And then the other part of me is like, I guess, like, it's kind of standard. 14 episodes is pretty long. 13 is pretty long. 12 is standard for, like, anime runtimes. But 10 is fine for, like, what America's doing right now. Especially with their, like, chopped up staff and whatever. It's, really gonna be the length of the episode that I'm more curious about. Like, it's only 10 episodes long. Is each episode gonna be, like, 5 minutes? 10 minutes? 20 minutes? 25 minutes? I think that's what's more important, because the amount of episodes can be, tricky like that, Didn't you call pirates worthless fucks? Shh. Shush, shush, shush. No, I didn't say that. I did. I do adamantly, dislike piracy a lot. If I see comments, on my videos that are promoting piracy sites, I generally will delete them because that kills the industry. And I do not want to support piracy, but with Ruby, I've been thinking about it. Another thing is I don't want to, like, accidentally, because when people, like, point out, piracy sites, I don't want someone accidentally going to, like, a, what am I saying? What is it called? A virus. I don't want them accidentally downloading a virus, going to some sketchy website, because they think they can watch a show that, for free on this piracy site. So, I generally don't advocate piracy. But I'm thinking about it. I guess I am the worthless fuck in the end. We all knew all along. It's like we knew. Favorite manga? Do I even have a favorite manga? I like Azumanga Daioh. I like the Zelda manga a lot. I don't know. I don't read manga much anymore. I don't read. I used to read all the time. I've been slowly trying to get through. I got like a box set of Ever After High books. And I've been slowly trying to get through them, little by little. And they're short books. I just never have the time to read. It's also always so dark. The sun never comes into my apartment. I feel like the sunlight is never designed to actually enter any apartment ever. And they're all dark. And so many of them don't have, like, overhead lights. They'll have, like, a switch that you can flip, but it'll just activate one of the outlets and not the overheads. And that's weird. I don't know why apartments do that. Yeah, I also agree, like, you shouldn't pirate. I was thinking maybe just, if I really am that curious and I do want to see it, I was thinking of just waiting until the whole show was done, and then get a Crunchyroll 14-day free trial, and then capture all of my footage, right then and there, and then cancel the free trial, I think that would work. Thoughts on Cyberpunk Edgerunner? I actually just talked about it on the podcast with Rambo, Garbage Eggs, over on his channel. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I really didn't like it. I thought it was really bad, actually. I thought it was very full of itself, and it was mostly just like a little boy teenage fantasy where one day I'll be big, strong, and I'll beat up those bullies in high school, and they can't stop me because I'm too strong and I'm special. The fact that he stops to be like, no, I am special, multiple times, I was like, I don't know. And all the hot girls will love me, and they'll just be naked around me all the time, even if they don't want to have sex with me necessarily. They're all just mostly naked around me, and the one that's the most hottest will love me the mostest, and I'll be big and strong. I don't know, it was just... not my thing. I did watch the whole thing, if that matters, but couldn't get into it. Not my jam. Going through big brain, not really. I try, man, but sometimes I am dumb. Like, I can't spell. One thing, okay, so that thumbnail, I referenced it in my Tyrion video that I did today. The Ruby heroes, talking about what makes Ruby's villain so bad, and I crossed it out as heroes. Heroes is spelled wrong. And initially, I did spell it incorrectly, just on accident. And as I was making my thumbnail, I was like, I should double check how to spell heroes, because I don't know for surezies. And then I was sitting there making my thumbnail, and then I was like, or, better move, don't. And then, because this is something that I learned from watching, analyzing Avatar, is, you should have something wrong in each video. Some sort of thing should be kind of wrong, because what you're doing is you're baiting your audience, because people love to correct you. And if you do have something wrong, then people will go into your comment section and tell you what you got wrong, which will boost the number of comments in your video, and then boost your numbers in the algorithm. So I was like, I'll just keep it how I spelled it here, because then people will go into the comments and tell me that I did it wrong. And maybe the smartest thing I ever did. I am convinced that video only did that well because I spelt the title wrong, and so many people, especially early on, was like, you spelled heroes incorrectly. But the downside is, now people think I'm illiterate. And I am. I do just usually go back and double check. But if I sit here and say, no, I promise I spelled it wrong on purpose, that sounds so fake. English is a dumb language to spell. Man, we got all kinds of dumb stuff. I do bait my audience. I do it all the time. I recently learned how to do, like the arrow thing in thumbnails. Like, I figured out how to draw it myself to make it look the way I wanted to. And I was like, end game. I will make the best clickbaity thumbnails ever. When people get upset about thumbnails, I get so confused. That's literally like the modern day equivalent of judging a book by its cover. Like with my What Ruined Ruby thumbnail. People are like, how dare you? And I'm like, it's just a thumbnail. It's just designed to get you to click on it. You know? Like, and if YouTube's algorithm didn't support that concept, I wouldn't have to lean into it so hard. But that's how YouTube works, and I need to make money. So I gotta make these thumbnails that'll get you to click on them. And then people will be upset if you that I do that. Like, that's part of the job. Gotta get more beverage. Ew, my coffee has become just like room temperature. Ew, it's been sitting out too long. Ooh. It was warm this morning, but that was like an hour ago, you know? What are my thoughts on Super Mario Bros. Z? What is that? What is that? I don't know. What is that now? What new things is it a video game? Is it an anime? I don't know. I like Mario. I like the Mario world. Quite frankly, I would kill to be able to play Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door on like the Switch or something. Man, that'd be so cool. I miss the Paper Mario world, back when it was good. Just, if I ever get quiet, I'm just reading what you all have to say. Just seeing what smart things you all are saying, because you all are definitely smarter than me. Why does Ruby have a boob window? Good question. I don't know. Like, why do they all need to have boob windows? I think Emerald's was one of the most egregious. It's just like... So we talked about how Jeff is stepping away from, doing the music for Ruby. I would really like it if they got someone other than Ayn Lee to do the character designs. I like Ayn Lee's art, but I'm not a huge fan of how they do Team Ruby's designs. Like, that's the reason we've gotten, you know, Chonky Braid Weiss and a million different zippers in a white jacket Blake. I don't know. I feel like they're fine. They're good. They are a good artist. I like Ayn Lee a lot. I just want someone else's attempt on Team Ruby at this point. What's the hardest part of being a YouTuber? Being your own boss. So, like, I'm the one in charge. Which means I get to do as much as I want whenever I want. But it's not so much the getting myself to do work, because this is the fun part. It's making myself stop. Forcing myself to take days off and go on break and have, like, lunch and stuff. That's the hardest part, because it's very easy to get yourself burnt out when you're just obsessing over this. Because I could do this all day if I wanted to. But if I do, I'll just completely kill myself off. Another hard thing is when you do something that you don't necessarily know if it'll work out in the long run, and then it doesn't. You know, you put a lot of time and effort into something, and then it flops. That's a lot of time you could have been spending on something that would have helped you got more money, so you could, like, pay rent. And if it doesn't work out, then that was a lot of wasted time. And that's kind of hard. Whenever people are like, Ruby tubers don't want to expand and talk about something different. Yeah, because this gets us money, and I want to pay rent. You know, there's a lot to it than that. It's a hard, nuanced little topic, you know? So, it's a bit of a gamble every single time. And with how YouTube could change at, like, the drop of a hat, I've had constant stress dreams that suddenly I'll wake up and all of my content is gone, or my channel is just destroyed, or something, you know? So, it's not a stable lifestyle, but I'm doing the best I can with it. I'm very lucky to be able to do this for a living. Critter admitted baiting viewers in the thumbnail. Cancelled. Super cancelled. Critter baits people into clicking on her. How dare. That's so silly to me. The people who will be like, I'll make a positive Ruby video that won't have a clickbait thumbnail, and I'll just be none of that stuff. And I'm like, great. I would love to see if it works. Because that's kind of like the point. You gotta make a thumbnail that make people want to watch the video. There's actually a lot of studies gone into it. I've done a lot of research on YouTube and, like, how to title your things, how to set up your editing, your description, your thumbnails, things like that. There's a lot of actual, like, research that goes into it. It's no different than, like, laying out an ad, or for, like, a magazine or a billboard or something. The way you want to grab your audience's attention and get them to at least look at your product, you know? It's the same way. There's a lot of, like, marketing research. Marketing, if any of you have ever studied marketing, you know it is a wild beast of all kinds of stuff. And so I have to, like, constantly do my own marketing. How am I doing today? I'm doing good. It's early. I should probably wrap up stream soon. I've been going for a full hour now? Almost a full hour. I'm like 20 seconds away. Yeah, thumbnails are just advertising. Like, and, like, think about, like, who's popular? I don't know. Markiplier. You know? The way he makes his thumbnails, he doesn't just do it. He does have to have a system to it. Because if it's not recognizable as a Markiplier video, you're not going to click on it. You know, Mr. Beast, Alpha Rad, you know, Jaden Animations. That's something, you see a lot of people, whenever Jaden does a crossover thing with other people, like Small Ant or Alpha Rad or whoever, they always tend to have Jaden Animations' character in the thumbnail somewhere. Which is smart, because Jaden is easily recognizable because of her distinct hairstyle and her distinct color of purple she uses for her character. And also, Jaden is very, very popular. She's a huge YouTuber. So, of course, they're gonna have her in the thumbnail somewhere. So, it makes sense. Like thumbnails, like, even the biggest YouTubers there are, Mr. Beast, whatever, anyone, there's so much thought that they have to put into how they make their thumbnail that you might not even think about, which is something I love studying. Like, going through my favorite YouTubers, like Mother's Basement, Noggin, Birdkeeper Toby. There's, like, those were the ones I really, like, studied when I was first getting into YouTube, to, like, see how they do their thumbnails, so I could have an idea of how I wanted to do mine. So, yeah, it's a weird, like, think about it. If you're scrolling through YouTube, or go through your history, your watch history, and look at the things that you clicked on, what about that thumbnail made you click on it, you know? And yeah, you could be like, oh, they got big numbers, they have a lot of subscribers, and yeah, their content is good, their content is amazing, but that thumbnail was the thing that first got people to look at that amazing content, you know? There are some examples, like ProZD, the fact that, like, he doesn't make thumbnails, but he does choose a good screenshot. Same with Jenna Marbles, back when she used to make YouTube videos. They're, like, the screenshot you choose, if it's blurry or out of focus or you can't really see their face very well, there's gotta be a reason for it, you know? There's so much to look into. Alright, I guess that's, I got more stuff to do today. Want to hear a secret? Aw, everyone here, you ready for some secrets? You can't tell anybody. It's a secret. Secrets. I have been slowly been working on a video. My favorite thumbnail of my videos? My Hell of a Boss review thumbnail is my favorite one. I really like that one. I like it when they come in a set, also, like Ruby versus the manga. Those ones, love those. But my Hell of a Boss one, I was just very proud of it. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to. But yeah, super secret. Been working on this video for a while now, and it's going to be a Pokemon Nuzlocke video. Slowly been working on it. Pokemon Nuzlocke. I love doing Nuzlocks. I had a whole comic series of me doing a Nuzlocke. I've attempted a Nuzlocke before. I wasn't emulating it properly. Surprise. My gold version Nuzlocke, I was emulating. Ooh, shocker. I own the game. I'm only emulating games I already own because it's easier to capture footage that way. But yeah, I've slowly been working on this Nuzlocke. The problem is, grinding is so boring. I hate grinding in RPGs. Don't expect the Nuzlocke anytime soon. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. I'm only on the second gym. I've been working on this since, like, October, and I'm only on the second gym. Like, I'm slowly working on it. But it is a thing that I'm like, alright, I want to, like, focus on it a little bit more nowadays. So after this, I'll probably rest for a little bit, capture some Nuzlocke footage, and I'll have my Frozen video done by the end of this week. Like, I'm more than halfway done editing it, so imagine today, tomorrow, or the day after, Frozen will be done and ready for you all. And I think that's it. I saw someone asking something like, what's been my favorite video that I've done? My favorite video of mine? Man, I like rewatching the big ones. Like my Ruby Volume 8 review was a lot of fun. I usually, because I like listening to long-form content, so if I'm gonna go back and rewatch my own stuff, I usually watch the most recent things. Truth be told, I usually actually watch Twin Zinx's videos rather than mine. So, yeah, I usually just watch her stuff rather than my own content, because I sit there and I listen to myself and I already know what I'm gonna say, and then I'm like, I don't know, I know what happens next. So yeah, thanks for the cool stream, everyone. Thanks for watching. So I guess I'll see you next week. Maybe same time. Still figuring out what time I want to do this stuff. But I've had a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for all that fan art I showed off in the beginning of the stream. Go show them some love, some appreciation, and I guess I'll see ya on the next one, everybody. So be safe, drink some water and tea and whatnot, and be nice and polite to people. Thank you everyone for the super chats. That was all so nice. You're all so sweet, so kind. Such good conversationalists too. Wow. Such beautiful people. Applaud yourselves. Such beautiful, kind conversationalists. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.